A sense of excitement is actually around the Emirates Stadium today, as it's Arsenal against Manchester United, and we all know what happened the last time these two met. It was in the League Cup, the Capital One Cup if you like, and Arsenal, with 2 goals from Alexis Sanchez and Edin Dzeko, knocked Louis Van Gaal's Manchester United out of the League Capital One Cup. So the excitement is very high around the Emirates Stadium, hoping for a repeat. Manchester United unbeaten in the league still, but no doubt Manchester United and Louis Van Gaal are feeling a little nervous about this. But with the international break now over and everyone sort of rested up, hopefully it won't be too much of a problem for an unbeaten side. For Arsenal, it's pretty much the same team that started against them in the Capital One Cup, with Chesney in goal and Dzeko starting ahead of Danny Welbeck, who makes the bench, as does Olivier Giroud, and Bellerin actually makes the bench as well. Goalkeeper Espina obviously makes the bench as well. So it's pretty much the same team that faced them. For United, they have a few changes. A 5-man defence with De Gea in goal, Smalling, Hummels, Rozo, Jones and Reece James. Midfielders 3, Blind, Fletcher and Di Maria. And Falcao is partnered with Robin van Persie. Aaron Henwood, his flu problems have persisted, but he makes the bench, the warrior that he is. And Louis Van Gaal is going to assess how he feels and probably bring him on later in the match, but he doesn't start. But he does make the bench despite his flu problems persisting. His mouth is pretty healed up from his wisdom teeth pains he had last time out, but still feeling under the weather. Well, Alexis Sanchez, despite scoring the winner against Manchester United, actually starts on the bench. Pretty much, very much of a surprise for Louis Van Gaal, but who knows? Maybe he'll make an appearance later and be a hero again. But only making the bench for the start of this match this afternoon. So Arsenal kick us off, and it's going to be Dzeko and Ozil in the centre as away we go. So Louis Van Gaal will be looking for redemption after the elimination of the League Cup final, League Cup match, as we said. Whereas Arsenal will be trying to put an end to Manchester United's unbeaten run. They are a point clear of Liverpool in the table as it stands. But as we said, Manchester United fans probably feeling a little nervous about this one, considering what happened earlier this season. Manchester United have a corner to contend with. It's actually been signalled a free kick, which Phil Jones will take. So no doubt Louis Van Gaal has actually gone for a more defensive option. I think it was no surprise really, considering the League Cup exit that they had. It was kind of dramatic. And we all remember Ander Herrera's goal that he scored. Went through Chesney, who really should have dealt with it, but Arsenal did prevail despite that. Percy to Di Maria. That's a great pass and a great piece of defensive work there by, I think it was, not sure it was, but it was a great piece of defensive work anyway. Here's Dzeko, the goal scorer in the first half to put Arsenal in front of the first place in the League Cup match. Keep calling it the League Cup. Monreal to Aaron Ramsey, who I believe didn't play in that match either. We all remember the second goal. It was Aaron Henwood sticking to Ozil like glue. He was a lot fitter back then. But Ozil prevailed, and Sanchez, with his back to goal and his back to De Gea and Blackett, managed to put it through and into the back of the net. It was a great goal, and that put Arsenal through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. It's raining today, and that's why Louis Van Gaal is probably going to be assessing Aaron Henwood's condition. Like I said, his flu problems, cold problems have persisted. He's now started actually sneezing. So, I'm interested to see if he actually plays any part in this match at all. But like he said, he's made the bench. But last week, he couldn't even make the bench at all. He just felt terrible. He's a bit better, like he said. His wisdom teeth pains have now subsided, but now he's actually got a full-blown cold to deal with. But we'll see. We'll see if he plays later. Louis Van Gaal might put him on for a small 10-minute run at the end of the game or something. We'll have to wait and see. Manchester United have pressing matters to contend with. They are now taking the lead in the Premier League table thanks to their 2-1 win at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace did get a late equaliser, but Manchester United pretty much dominated the game in the second half. It was a 0-0 at the end of the first, and that's happened with a lot of Manchester United matches this season. And Colback has actually admitted more misery on Queen's Park Rangers. Newcastle actually won up at St James's Park. Here is Theo Walcott. Positive return from injury. He played really well in the League Cup match against United. And he's had a really positive return from his injury that kept him out of the World Cup. Hoping to make a statement for Euro 2016 next year. Ramsey's tackled by Di Maria, who retains his spot from last week. He's obviously scored the second goal, which led to Manchester United winning the match despite a late equaliser from Baladze. Fletcher, the vice-captain, obviously getting a start with Rooney out, and an update on Juan Mata's condition. He will also be out with the 3 months for, would you believe it, another broken ankle suffered by a Manchester United player. So that's 2 broken ankles in the space of 3 weeks. Manchester United certainly not having any luck with injuries whatsoever. Juan Mata and Wayne Rooney now both out, and Aaron's still recovering from illness. So the injury problems are mounting for Van Gaal. Not so much so that he put Jesse Lingard also on the bench. Robin Van Persie facing his old team today. Smalling in a right-on battle with Ozil, but gets the throw-in. Austin was influential in the cross that made the second goal possible. I think he may lead them into first cross as well. And now Falcao, a lot of work to do from there, but Diaby's completely lost him. Falcao shoots, and it's over Chesney and over the bar. Diaby making a rare start this afternoon as well for Arsenal. That's a change from the League Cup lineup. Did Chesney at least get his hand to that? That's the referee signalling here. And the replay, yes it is. It is a Manchester United corner. Chesney with a brilliant save in the end. Reece James is up for the header. Daley Blind's going to shoot. Chesney's going to fumble it. It's going to roll through, and Chesney, great recovery. And Chesney is still feeling a little nervous under Manchester United right now, because it was kind of a shot that went through him, Ander Herrera, for Manchester United's goal in that League Cup match. He's still feeling a little nervous. Robin Van Persie. And that's a good save by Chesney as well. Chesney had a great second half performance, which led to Arsenal winning the match. Even if his first half wasn't as great. But in the second half, he was the reason Arsenal were able to go on and win with some fantastic saves. And he's making some more here. Falcao with a back heel to Di Maria, but nothing really came of it. Here's Santi Cazorla. And that's going to be too long for Debussy. United throwing. Reece James, a rare start for him this afternoon. Oh, and Ramsey putting Fletcher under pressure, I think, but immediately tackled by a recovering Reece James from the throw-in. Trying to put it through to Falcao, but unfortunately nothing doing for him there. We've got to trying to be tackled by Blind, and Monreal keeps it. Arsenal certainly looking bright in this first half. Dzeko. Good tackle by Rojo, but Dzeko straight back at them. Here's Ozil. He needs to run it out of the box and try to make another cross. Great touch against Reece James, but forced back again. Debussy's got a lot of space there. And Reece James is all over the Arsenal people at the moment. Great defending by United in that instance there. Looked a little nervy. United prevailed. But Arsenal back on the ball now with Ramsey. Ramsey, a revelation over the last couple of seasons. Monreal to tackle by Smalling, and now Darren Fletcher. Falcao. Good tackle there. I think it was from Ramsey again. And he gets the ball now. Arsenal certainly playing well in this first half hour. No goals or attempts to show as of yet. Chesney's been the busy of the goalkeepers, but has made the saves. Falcao. Dispossessed by Arsenal again. Arsenal defending well. Walcott. And another pass that is gone wide. And it will be a United throw-in again. Manchester United still unbeaten in the league thus far. A point clear of Liverpool. Falcao. And they have obviously Chelsea to thank for that, beating Liverpool last time out. Manchester United's win over Crystal Palace obviously sealed the deal. It's a throw-in deep in the Arsenal half. But Reece James is thrown over Di Maria, and Ramsey makes mincemeat of it. And now, plenty of space. Ramsey's going to run all the way here. And Ramsey went too far. And this seems to be Arsenal's problem in this first half. They seem to be putting the ball over the throw-in line a lot of the time. But when United do get the ball, they do press up against them. And that was something Arsenal did really well in the Capital One Cup match. Actually denied Manchester United the ball, because as we know, Manchester United have been playing beautifully in terms of passing and movement this season, and Arsenal did a great job of limiting that. Di Maria, Darren Fletcher of all people, and it's saved by Chesney, and Darren Fletcher decided to make a run of his own. Monreal, and again over the throw-in line, and Smalling takes it short to Darren Fletcher. Blind, Falcao, Blind continues his run. Danny Blind, and is it an offside call? I believe it is. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's marginal, but it's definitely off. Well, Manchester United could be going into this break at 0-0 again. United don't seem to be as tip-top as in the first half as in the second half of games this season, but as soon as they get the 3 points, but we need to keep an eye on Liverpool as well. Smalling. Actually, no, that's an Arsenal player. My apologies, it was Smalling was with him. But here's Cazorla for Arsenal. Cazorla cuts in. It's in the box. Cazorla. And deflected, I think, for an Arsenal corner. Well, great defensive reading by Rojo to stick out a foot. And Blind approves of that. It's going to be Mesut Ozil with this corner. Swept in, and a header, and it's over the bar. And that was Arteta, I believe. Well, he was under pressure from Smalling, and that obviously counted for something. He went over the bar. David De Gea with a very long kick. It reached the other end of the pitch. Here's Angel Di Maria. Chest Chesney, and it's a save. It's a Man United corner right down the other end. And Di Maria has been a revelation so far, straight through the legs of the defender. How did even Di Maria even get through that? Well, it's a United corner, and Di Maria's going to take it. And Matt Hummels, the ball was everywhere. Marginally cleared by Arsenal, but it's pulled back in, and Delaney Blind saved by a magnificent Chesney, but it is offside anyway. It was headed back in by I think it might have been Reece James, and that's marginal. That's so marginal. He may have just been on there. Delaney Blind unlucky, but he was saved by Chesney anyway. Fantastic save. Rather unfortunate for Delaney Blind. That was very well done. Arsenal don't seem to do a lot on the touchline to threaten United, but Chesney is certainly continuing his good form from the second half of the League Cup game. And Ramsey. Ramsey's going all the way here. Manchester United having to retreat to the box. Here's Debussy. Against Blind. Ramsey. Tackled by Phil Jones. And gives it away. Mertesacker here. And we're approaching any time at the end of the first half, and it looks like being another 0-0 first half scoreline. Falcao. And Percy. Darren Fletcher. Oh, that was close. They're really testing Chesney in this first half. They know how vulnerable he is. That was beautifully hit by Darren Fletcher. That was heading for the top corner, just a bit too high. Darren Fletcher with a fantastic shot. They're really putting Chesney under worry, but they really need to start getting into the box and creating chances there. Chesney has definitely been tested, but he's certainly the man of the first half with some fantastic saves. De Gea hasn't really had a lot to do down the other end, mainly because of Manchester United's magnificent defence in this first half. Debuchy, tackled by Rojo. Arsenal not really attacking Fred in this first half, but certainly defensively, it's been all about the defences of the teams at the moment. Plays forward to Danny Blind, and there's certain ways of saying Daley Blind's name. Even I get confused. Vorcha Chesney, definitely the hero of the first half. It's another 0-0 first half ending scoreline for Manchester United. That means Arsenal got to watch themselves, because that's when Manchester United spark to life. At the break, once again, in a Manchester United match, it's 0-0. Arsenal and Manchester United, and Manchester United now approaching their time in the second half.